Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dadarsha tatrabhijitam dharadharam Proniyamana vinim agradam straya Mushnantam akshana swarucho arunashriya Yaha sasa chaho vanagocharo mrigaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. He saw there the all-powerful personality of Godhead in his boar incarnation, bearing the earth upward on the ends of his tusk and robbing him of his splendor with his reddish eyes. The demon laughed, "Oh, an amphibious beast." Purport. In a previous chapter we have discussed the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Varaha, the boar. While Varaha with his tusk engaged in uplifting the submerged earth from the depths of the water, this great demon Hiranyaksha met him and challenged him, calling him a beast. Demons cannot understand the incarnations of the Lord. They think that his incarnations as a fish or boar or tortoise are big beasts only. They misunderstand the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even in his human form, and they deride his descent. In the Chaitanya Sampradaya, there is sometimes a demoniac misconception that the descent of Nityananda's Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu's body is spiritual, but demoniac persons consider the body of the Supreme Personality to be material, just like ours. Avajananti ma mudha. Persons who have no intelligence deride the transcendental form of the Lord as material. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So here in this verse, Hiranyaksha saw that the all-powerful personality of Godhead in his boar incarnation, bearing the earth upward on the ends of his tusk. So we know when the Lord descends in this world, He has two major functions. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma sanstapnarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Mother Earth, who was, so to say, submerged in the depth of the ocean, the Lord came in boar incarnation, bearing the earth upward on the ends of his tusk, lifted the earth using the tusk in his boar incarnation. And when Hiranyaksha, who was a demon, Dushkritna, he saw that, he laughed. One of the demoniac tendency or the quality is that they challenge the Supreme Lord. They challenge the existence of the Supreme Lord. One of the qualities of the devotees are devotees accept the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and they accept their subservient position and accept to render service to the Lord. Whereas demoniac, they don't accept the supremacy of the Lord. So here, demons cannot understand the incarnation of the Lord and they challenge. They think that when the Lord also descends, in one of the lecture Prabhupada mentions that impersonalists or Mayavadis, they may accept that there is some supreme power, but their understanding is that Lord, since He is omnipresent, He is present everywhere, then He cannot be localized. He cannot be a person. This is a mundane logic, just like if you take a sheet of paper and tear it into parts, small pieces, then the original sheet ceases to exist in its form. So once there are gross atheists who don't believe in the Supreme Lord, there are others who may believe in the Supreme but they say the Lord is impersonal, He is not a person. He is present in the form of His energy. They may even, there are impersonalists who even talk about the pastimes of the Lord. They may say that the Lord is impersonal, Lord is that energy, but then when the Lord descends, the form of the Lord is not spiritual. That's why the word is used, Mayavadis. Avajananti ma mudha, Krishna derides such people. Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanum ashrita, when they descend in human-like form, just like the Lord, for His enacting His various pastimes, appears in different forms. Just like the requirement was there to lift the Mother Earth, so He took the boar form. So Lord may also take, for enacting pastime, pleasing pastime with His devotees, just to give a glimpse of the relationship and the wonderful pastimes of the Lord and the devotees in the spiritual world. The Lord may take a human form, and avajananti ma mudha, fools deride me. They think that the human form, the Lord, is also Maya. Ultimately, Lord is impersonal. And when Krishna says, surrender unto me, they even say that it is not to the Lord, but to the ultimate absolute truth, the impersonal Supreme within Krishna. This is all manifestation of the influence of Maya or illusion. Even big scholars, even most intelligent people, Maya Aparita Jnana, the real knowledge, the real understanding of the Supreme Lord gets covered. One time Prabhupada with his disciples, they had visited a harbor where all the ships come and they get, so to say, loaded, unloaded, all that. So Prabhupada was walking with his disciples and they saw one very big ship. Generally in the airports also it happens that when the airplane comes, sometimes it's towed. Maybe because they don't want to use the fuel. So it's towed by small different vehicles. They tow the aeroplane. So here also in this harbor, they saw one small little boat. It's called a tugboat. It was towing the ship to the harbor. Big ship, but it was towed by a small boat. And the engine of the ship was off. So Prabhupada saw that, and Prabhupada, who is always Krishna conscious, so everything you see, Prabhupada connects it to Krishna. So Prabhupada says, even though we may be very powerful, but when we switch off our engine of Krishna consciousness, then we are tugged by Maya. A small Maya, apparently Maya, avajananti ma mudha. Even big people, scholars, appear to be very learned, good analytical skills, good comprehension, very knowledgeable. Maya pritagyana, but Maya tugs away their understanding. And they are not able to understand the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. It also happens that when you get a lot of power, name, fame, adoration, even that makes us, so to say, forget the Supreme Lord. makes us challenge. Here, Hiranyakashipu is not an ordinary demon. He's very powerful. And because of his power, because of his influence, he's able to take the Supreme Lord head on. At least he is thinking so. He is challenging the Supreme Lord. Many times when people also get a lot of money, lot of power in this material world, they can get blinded. Bhogaishvaya prasaktanam taya prita chetasam vivasatmika buddhi, the steady intelligence, that understanding that yes, Krishna is the Supreme, we have to surrender to Him, doesn't come about. But Krishna says, even if a person does not surrender, does not accept the supremacy, finally at the point of death, one has to accept. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. At the time of death, no matter how big person may be, how much power, how much position, how much wealth a person may be, finally he has to surrender to Krishna. It's a very interesting article. These are the words of Steve Jobs. We all know Steve Jobs. He's known all over the world for his business acumen. It's because of him today Apple is what it is today. World over people are talking about Apple products. And it's one of the most valuable company. Billions of dollars of cash reserves. Most profitable. And although it's being run now, but everyone knows it's the work of Steve Jobs. He set into motion the processes, the whole company, the innovation, the products. So now what Steve Jobs is saying, when he was in the last days, some of you may be aware, he was suffering from pancreatic cancer. So he was bedridden, he was hospitalized. So he writes, I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. There can't be anyone more successful than him. Although there are many Fortune 500 companies, successful companies, but someone, if they can remember top CEOs of the world, he'll be one among them. I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. In others' eyes, my life is an epitome of success. It's like a benchmark. Success means this is success. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, wealth is only a fact of life that I am accustomed to. So here I am talking about somebody may have power, position, may have all the wealth in the world, but unless that relationship to the Lord is there, unless Krishna consciousness is there, there will be always something lacking, nagging, something is missing. This is what Steve Jobs realizes, as we see in the following words. At this moment, lying on the sick bed and recalling my whole life, I realize that all the recognition and wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless in the face of impending death. Have paled and become meaningless. So all power, position, name, fame, what we hanker for, especially the demons get so much puffed up with, they all pale into insignificance in due course of time. In the darkness, I look at the green lights from the life-supporting machines and hear the humming mechanical sound. He was in the ICU with all kinds of medical gadgets attached to his body. I can feel the breath of God of death drawing closer. Now I know when we have accumulated sufficient wealth to last our lifetime, we should pursue other matters that are unrelated to wealth. We are so fortunate, we are directly pursuing that. Should be something that is more important than wealth. Because after having achieved the epitome of success, something is missing. Something more than what wealth can give us. Non-stop pursuing of wealth will only turn a person into a twisted being just like me. In one sense, he was a nice-hearted person. He came to India. He also learned yoga. He was practicing Buddhism. Some element of God consciousness was there. God gave us the senses to let us feel the love in everyone's heart, not the illusions brought about by wealth. The wealth I have won in my life, I cannot take with me. Whichever stage in life we are at right now, with time we will all face the day when the curtains come down. So these are his realizations in the last days. Curtains will come down. But when the real knowledge, just like here it says, when the real knowledge of the curtains will come down, death is inevitable, the Lord is supreme, we are insignificant, one day we have to leave and go, all the wealth will remain behind. Maya Pritagyana, this knowledge is taken away by Maya. And it covers the real knowledge and makes us feel proud. Makes us feel great. To the extent that we can even dare challenge the Lord or dare deny the existence of God. Only when we come to our senses by the mercy of pure devotee of the Lord, then we will not make this decision. In fact, such kind of thoughts may even cross our mind because of a conditioned nature, but we feel guilty. So here the Lord is being mentioned that the Lord is taking the Mother Earth, upholding on the ends of his tusk, trying to protect it, and the demon is making fun of him. He laughed, oh, an amphibious beast. So demons, so Prabhupada mentions when the Lord comes in the form of fish incarnation or tortoise or the demons, because they have no respect for the Lord. They are not seeing from Shastra Chakshu. They are seeing with their material vision. Just like many times people see the deities as made of metal or stone, or they call it idol worship. Sometimes people say, why do you worship statues? So if that devotion is not there, that bhakti is not there, that love for the Lord is not there, that shastric vision is not there, then we will see the Lord is in the form of a beast. How can this be a Lord? How can boar be a Lord? How can a fish be a Lord? Just like yesterday we were discussing, how can the place like Vrindavan, with all the ganda nalas, all the dirty water, all the sewage strewn all over, all kinds of dirty pigs moving around, how can that be a holy place? Only when we have spiritual vision with the help of what we hear from the Shastras, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then we are able to see things as they are. Otherwise, illusion covers our real knowledge. So even the Lord is always there to protect his devotees, that knowledge also. Many times we also go through a phase of faithlessness. Krishna says, Naham prakasha sarvasya, I don't reveal myself to everyone. Bhaktya mam abhijanati, only through devotion can I be known. Name bhakte pranashati, my devotees will never perish, I'll always protect my devotees. But many times when we are at least momentarily in illusion, we may even doubt the protection of the Lord, may doubt the existence of the Lord, may doubt the authenticity of the process which we are following, may doubt the potency of the holy name. One time, it seems the 33rd year Swamiji of Ahobilam Mutt, this was I think many years back, that time there was no transport. So Ahobilam was, even now for that matter, it's a forest. Although now a lot of people have started going, so some amenities have So this Swamiji with his disciples, they were traveling from Ahobilam to Mysore. Maybe they had another mutt there. So they were traveling, they were walking, there were no vehicle those days. And he had a small deity of Lord Narasimha with him. And the journey would take many, many days together, so they would pack everything, the food articles and the ingredients for making offerings to the Lord, the jewelry, the dresses. The service of the Lord would continue. So they would have huge boxes, many disciples, some of them carrying jewelry, some of them carrying the ingredients, and they would stop at a place, maybe some tent or something they would put, they'll cook, offer the Lord, change the dress, worship the Lord, all that would continue. So one time they were passing through a forest, and suddenly there was a commotion. All the disciples got rattled, and one of them came rushing to this dear Swamiji and said, "Looks like dacoits. They're going to attack us." So there was a whole commotion among the disciples that dacoits are going to attack. They are armed with guns and all that thing. And they were all alone in the forest. That was a time when the evening arti had to happen to the Lord. Offering had to happen. So the Swamiji, after hearing all his disciples quite agitated, quite fearful, he said, "Don't worry. Lord Narasimha will protect." It's easy to say when there is a danger. Real test comes at that time. Prabhupada also says it's very easy to say, even a parrot you can teach him to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But finally when you catch the neck, ka, 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 it will say this. So even we should not be very proud of our devotion. Real test will come when we encounter danger. It's very easy to chant Hare Krishna otherwise. Yeah, we depend on Krishna. Krishna is a protector. We can chant shlokas. Heart of heart, we should always feel I have no devotion, because it's a fact. We don't know whether we'll be able to remember Krishna when death comes. So the Swamiji had a lot of faith. He said, "Krishna, this Narasimha will protect, don't worry." So he got up. He was about to sit down for worship the Lord. He got up and he went directly to the chief of the bandits, the dacoits, and spoke to him. He said, "What do you want?" He said, "Don't speak anything. All what you have, hand it over." Basically, he was interested in, they knew that, the jewelry of the Lord, the mukut, a whole lot of things were there, sometimes made of precious stones, diamonds. Hand over everything. Again, very unperturbed, with a lot of faith that Narasimha will protect. He said, "Sure, nothing belongs to us. It is all Lord's property. I have no inhibition in giving it to you. Whether it's with me or it's with you, it's the Lord's property. It belongs to the Lord. Just give me a little time. It's a time when, the worship has to happen of the Lord. Naivedya has to happen. Give me some time. You wait for a while, and after this is over, you can take it." So the bandit also, okay. So all other other bandits, they were all hiding in the forest. Always there is element of fear of getting caught, of some kind of a retaliation. So they were hidden, and this bandit somehow waited that the puja get over and he can take the entire jewelry and all the whatever they had with them. So this Swamiji, unperturbed, started worshipping the Lord. Couple of his disciples, they even started cooking shakar pongala for offering it to the Lord for Naivedya. They used to cook also. But they were shivering, the bandit is sitting and, So the worship happened. Aarti happened, the Naivedya happened, and while all these things were going on, all the dacoits who were hidden in the forest, they started running and coming towards them, save us, save us, save us. And they fell at the feet of the Swamiji. He says, what happened? He says, never we have experienced this. We are seeing so many lions coming from different directions trying to attack us. Please save us from these lions. Please save us from these kind of... We never experienced this kind of a thing. So the Swamiji understood what these lions are. So then he prayed to the Lord, Lord Nrsingadev, please protect. And as he said, the lions, whatever, whether they were coming or whatever they experienced, they retreated, and all this bandit fell at the feet of Swamiji and thanked him for protecting them. And it seems after that, these dacoits, they escorted, because they knew forest, there could be other parties of dacoits. So they escorted Swamiji and the disciples till Mysore, left them there and went back. So this thing that how the Lord, paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushka. Always the Lord is eager to protect his devotees. And the demons who are always challenging the Lord, not accepting the supremacy of the Lord, will get vanquished in due course of time. Because of their knowledge, although the Lord is supreme, he exhibits his supremacy, exhibits his kind protection. But unfortunately, when Maya covers the real knowledge, when we are overpowered by pride, illusion, then we are not able to experience all that. So only when we follow this process, like Prabhupada here is saying, Prabhupada also gives example of Nityananda Prabhu. He is all spiritual. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. But demoniac people whose knowledge is covered, consider the body of Supreme Personality to be material just like ours. Avajananti ma mhuda. Persons who have no intelligence deride the transcendental form of the Lord as material. So we should also have an element of fear within us. We cannot become complacent. This Maya also, just like we were talking about the three modes of material nature, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva-guna. And Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says these modes always compete with one another. Sometimes we find ourselves very rajasic, overpowered by Rajoguna. Sometimes we find ourselves overpowered by Tamoguna. Likewise, just like we mentioned one of the previous, Maya jhapatiya dhare. Maya needs an opportunity. Little bit we become complacent, little bit we become proud, little bit we think that, I am great, I don't need any help. Sometimes it may not be even in words, we may not even say it in words, our action speaks louder than words. Krishna is very there in our heart. He is sensitive to what we are thinking, our consciousness. The pride may not be in our words, pride we may not challenge verbally, but it may manifest in our actions. And when that happens, jhapatiya dhare, we are overpowered by Maya. And the best part about Maya is, not best part, the worst part is, we don't even know that we are in Maya. Only when eyes get opened, we come out of illusion, we realize we were in Maya. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, we were not thinking that we were in Maya. We were blissful in ignorance. Only when we look back with the knowledge what we have today, and when we look back what we were, what our consciousness was, what our thought process was, what our longing were, then we realize we were in Maya. Now this is something very gross. As we practice, as a sadhaka, when we practice, the Maya, attacks of Maya is very dynamic. Sometimes gross, sometimes subtle. It just penetrates into our consciousness. So that way a devotee is always very humble, realizes that he is very fallen, dependent on the Lord, always conscious that it is only by the mercy of the Lord today he has some Krishna consciousness. Realizing that he is fallible, realizing that Maya is very powerful, it's energy of the Lord. Although Maya is, this thing is not fearful, because Krishna says, Maam eva prapadyante Maya metam, I'll free you from Maya, don't worry. His only business is, let me take shelter of the Supreme Lord, let me catch hold of the feet of the Lord very tightly. Attacks of Maya will be there, but so long as I am surrendered to the Lord, Krishna will give me protection. Krishna will surely protect me. We'll stop here. Granth Raj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.